Hello and welcome to lesson 2 of the Hebrew course. In this lesson we will look at the vowels and look at exercise 1 and start reading Hebrew. Not understanding Hebrew yet, but for now we need to learn to read the language, read the alphabet. Now there are a number of different vowels in Hebrew. They originally had different types of lengths. In modern Hebrew, the pronunciation of which I'm suggesting for biblical Hebrew, and I'm using myself. In this late form of the language, the difference between the length of the vowels is very slight. That's also probably also the case in Tiberian Hebrew, as we call it, namely the phase of Hebrew where vowels were added, vowel signs, was added to the text. So the vowel signs are not really designed to indicate long and short vowels and extra short vowels, but at an earlier stage in the language, that was definitely the case, that you had all types of different lengths. So in the chart of the Masoretic vowels you find in the manual after the alphabet chart, you can see 4 columns for extra short vowels, tone long vowels, and unchangeably long vowels. So that's basically for historic accuracy. And you'll see that many of the vowels look similar, depending upon whether or not they have a vowel letter accompanying them. The thing is that in at one point in the history of the Hebrew language was added some consonants to indicate vowels. Okay, so that's particularly the vav, the yud, and the hey, which are used to indicate vowels. Vav is used often to indicate o or u. Yud is often used to indicate I and E, and He is used to indicate A or E, sometimes O, but always at the end of words. So whereas Vav and Yud can be in the middle of words also at the end, He as a vowel can only be, or as an indicator of a vowel, can only stand at the end of a word. So you can familiarize yourself with the vowels of the table in the chart of Masoretic vowels. And maybe I should say something about the extra short vowel there, which is called vocal schwa. That's 2 dots on top of each other. Vocal schwa, which is, well, this reading sign is called it's called a schwa, and the schwa is simply means absence of a vowel that carries any meaning. Sometimes you'll have to say an sound in order to pronounce a word. For instance, as in medaber, the first sound of m is one of these. You can't say daber. Following, if you start with an m and then have a d coming, you have to have an sound between the m and a d. Medaber. But this schwa vowel really carries no phonemic meaning, as we say. In other words, you should regard it as a zero vowel, even though you sometimes have to pronounce it. Well, then there is another couple of vowels that used to be extra short, that we call chatef vowels, and they you can see them in the leftmost column. They have either an a, e, or o sound. Of short vowels we have again a, e, I, o, u. Longer we have a, e, o, and then unchangeably long in the chart we have a, e, o, u again. But unchangeably long, it's unchangeably long vowels are written here with consonants used as vowel letters. So this is enough information in order to start reading exercise 1. At least the first 4 lines of exercise 1 is now available to you with this information. So let's have a look at this and see how it can be used. So the first word in exercise 1, again reading from right to left, is av. You start with an aleph, then a kametz vowel under the aleph, and then a bet, but a bet without a dot. So that gives the word av, which means father. Next word also starts with an aleph, and that with the but with a patach. Now the patach and the kametz are the same ah sound in modern Hebrew. A few of the kametzes, as you can see in the chart, a few of the kametzes are what we call kametz chatuf, which is an oh sound, but that's only about 1 or 2% of all instances of this vowel. So whenever you have a kametz vowel, that's the T-looking vowel, you can safely assume that it's an ah. So the second word again is af, and it has an aleph. Underneath the aleph is a kamet, is a patach vowel, a vowel, and then the final letter of this word is a pe, but without a dot in it. The pe is pronounced as an f, and the pe is one of the 5 letters that looks differently, depending on whether it's at the end of a word like here, or in the middle of or beginning of words. Next word is eretz, and it has a stress sign on top of the aleph, right? This little sign indicates stress whenever the stress is not on the final syllable. The thing is, in Hebrew, more often than not, the stress is on the final syllable. So anywhere that that is not the case, we indicate that with this sign. So that is the case here. Eretz has stress on the first syllable, eretz, and again starts with an aleph and has an e, a segol vowel under it, then a resh with a segol under it, and finally a tzade. Eretz, meaning land. Then is the word bohu, which is another word that has the stress on the first syllable, bo. Starts with a bet with a dot in it. So here, the bet with a dot, you have to pronounce it as a b. Then there's an o. O is the only vowel that is over the letters. You can remember that by o. O is over. It's the vowel is called cholem in Hebrew. Followed by a he, and then a shurek. Shurek is a vav with a dot. A vav with a dot is almost always the u vowel. So bohu, which means something like chaos or disorder. Next word is bo. Bo. The bet starts this word again with a dot in it, and hence is pronounced b rather than v. Followed by an o. This is a cholem vowel with the consonant vav used here as vowel letter. So the dot of the o combined with the vowel letter vav here gives again simply the vowel o. And the aleph is at the end. Alephs at the end of words are always silent. At one point we imagined that this was pronounced like bo. We hear bo. You heard the glottal stop at the end, bo. But now it's just bo. Bo rather than bo. And then we have bara. Again, a bet with a dot, and then 2 kametzes in the word, bara. And Golan, Gur, David, Delet, Dam, Hevel, Haya, in the word haya, that's the final word of this line, the first line. You start and end with the hey, but the first hey is a consonant, functions as a consonant in this word, and the final hey indicates a vowel actually. So actually, usually when you have a hey at the end of a word, it will indicate a vowel. If not, it will always have a dot. So you do see from time to time regular hey consonants at the end of words, but in that case, always with this dot that I mentioned. Reading on in the next line, line 2, the first word from the right is harim. Harim. Notice the yud used as vowel letter. Okay, so you have hey and then a kametz, then resh. Under the resh, you have a chirek. That is an e vowel, and the chirek then is followed by a yud. Now this yud indicates an original long e, so that's part of the vowel here. Now how can we be sure that the yud here is not a consonant? Well, the thing is that it does not have its own vowel, and if consonants do not have a vowel, they have to have a so-called schwa, these two dots, one on top of the other in the schwa. And since that is not the case, I mean the yud has no reading sign whatsoever, then the yud is simply part of the vowel here. If you compare with the previous word haya, note how we have another yud there, but that has its own vowel, namely a, and therefore the yud is a consonant, haya, but here just a vowel, harim. Next word is chote, then chayu, charan, tal, yored, yalad, yeled, yatsa, yasim, kaved, lakach, maim, sefer, uz, etz, poal, tzur, kedem, kol, kayin. Kayin being now the third to last word in the third line, kayin. There you can see a yud followed by an e, but a yud that again is a function as a consonant. After the a, you have the yud, and the yud has its own vowel, which is an e. So the yud is a consonant, ka, yin, kain. As opposed to the next word, ra'iti, second to last word of the third line in exercise 1, ra'iti, which has two long e's, right? Two long e's where the yud follows the e vowel, and the yud has no vowel in itself, and nor a schwa to indicate absence of vowel. So the yud here is just simply a vowel marker. Ra'iti, ram, romes, remes, sarah, sha'al, shamaim, sha'ar, teva, tohu, Torah, tachat. Now that's the first 4 lines, and that's it for this lesson. I urge you to sit down with these Hebrew words for yourself, and simply sit with the alphabet chart and the vowel chart. Do them as well as you can. Then when you've I've suggested you transcribe them. So on a separate piece of paper, you simply write them in Latin, in the Latin alphabet. And then we've done that. I suggest that you put the chart aside and simply try to, for a couple of reading this text through, or not a text, but all these words through, a couple of times for yourself or for your study partners, in order to get used a little bit to reading and to reading Hebrew. Good. So thank you for now.